Welcome to another episode of Sports Gumbo. And we told you guys on the last episode that me and my man Eric will be live in studio. It's good to see you in the flesh, man.
I know. We don't have to worry about the buffering on Riverside. You and your weird UK. I think Big Brother monitors your signal or something, because since George Orwell was a British guy, I think, all y'all's secret cameras.
Or how about me recording at 3 o'clock in the morning? The sacrifice. The audience don't know that. I do 2, 3 a.m. just to make this happen. But look, guys, we haven't even seen each other or spoke to each other. But look, we on the same page. You see the kicks right there. We got the matching 11s.
Not as flexible as you got high.
I got the Space Jams. What you rocking?
72 and 10.
There we go. We in sync, baby. Just like Katie High School graduates are supposed to be.
No Tigers.
But yeah, man, I think right now at this moment in time, we call this the dead period in sports because there's no NFL. NBA season is finished. You got baseball, and actually we're going to the Astros game a little bit later after this, so shout out to the Astros.
Hey, should we bang a trash can tonight?
I think we should go all out.
All right, let's bang trash cans. All right.
But one thing that we do have is a little bit of NBA Summer League that's coming up, and then the USA Olympics, where we've got a glimpse at, in particular, Cooper Flagg. And I don't know if you remember this guy, but he's been going viral because he's had a great camp. He's 17 years old, going to Duke, and the only college basketball player that was invited to scrimmage against the Olympic team.
Cooper, I'm putting my shades on because I told you about this guy in a previous episode.
I don't remember. I got
amnesia. Are you going to do this? Since we're in Houston, you're going to be like Roger Clemens misremembered and honor Roger Clemens.
Well, remind me then.
Okay. We had a discussion about Next American Star. And the one guy said towards the end is Cooper Flagg. He said no. I said yes. And what has happened? I told you that guy is going to be the next American star. He's a tall Caucasian guy that can jump and's got real skill. I said that, and you were like, I don't know. I said, I do.
So what was my pullback on him? What did I say? Why did I say
he needed to prove it a bigger stage? He's like, look, he's busting NBA guys' chops.
I did say that, man. I'm from the old school. I'm from the Faith West days where you gotta win on the losing court before you get on the winner court.
I said he was going to be next star. Now, whether he was actually worthy of is a different story, but I said that the first chance the media had a chance to prop him up, they were going to do, and they did. But he did earn it because I saw the clips. But yeah, you can see the guy, homeboy, and he's also got a serious attitude. He's like the modern-day Larry Bird, but more athletic. He will trash talk you. He'll block your shot and start talking to you.
Okay, well, let me ask you this because this might have come up. I mean, we've talked about this on the last episode. We talked about nepotism with Bronny James and LeBron James. And you said the next great white star. So is he the great white hope, or are you basing that on legitimate NBA skills?
Both.
Which weighs more? You got to choose one. Which one will make him the biggest star?
The white American star, because the white players right now in the NBA, the dominant ones are not American.
That's true.
Luka's not an American.
Yep.
Dirk was not an American.
That's true.
Jokic is not an American. Steve Nash, by the way, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Even though he went to college here. Like, name?
Who is the last white superstar in the NBA?
Would you consider Kevin Love?
No, not superstar. Definitely not.
Then probably Larry Bird.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, there have been good white athletes. Like, people forget, like, for instance, Danny Ainge was the All-American in 3 sports, was drafted in 3.
Yeah, but we're talking about the modern era.
In the modern era, it's probably Larry Bird.
Wow. Okay, so I think that this is really interesting.
I mean, Kevin McHale's a star, but I would say Bird is a better player.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't consider the 80s the modern era, by the way. So Larry Bird is in the
But he was
in
the original Dream Team 92.
Yeah, of course. So I think this is a fascinating conversation because I think we get excited. You look over to the women's game, and you can say that Caitlin Clark is kind of in those shoes as well. And you wonder why the media or why the general public gravitates to that. And now
Caitlin's a little different story than Cooper Flagg, though.
Yeah, of course. But I think what's fascinating, and I'm talking specifically basketball.
Yes.
Is because it's predominantly dominated by black athletes.
In the NBA, not so much WNBA. WNBA has a high ratio of black women, but we've had good Caucasian women. Now, the one, again, I'm just saying what people say, so, I don't know if this is true or not. I think the perception about the NBA fair or not that most of their stars are lesbians. And so people are gravitating towards Caitlyn because she is supposedly straight, and she's also from the Midwest. She's from a small town, and I think that's the appeal. She appeals to Middle America, and she can shoot.
Yeah,
she shoots like Steph Curry. She's from the right part of the country where people feel that stars typically don't come from. And then Caitlyn didn't go to UConn, even though she did want to go there, but Gino never offered her because Gino went after Paige. Remember, Paige Beckers was supposed to be Caitlyn before she tore ACL. Because
Right,
Paige was the better player coming out of high school by a country mile.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I think that's the difference. Cooper, the NBA is predominantly dominated by African Americans, now international, and there's not been a white American superstar. But Cooper is also it looks like he has the tools to be great.
Yeah.
Right? Like Reed Sheppard, who the Rockets drafted. By the way, it's interesting. When was the last time that a white American player was the first player drafted in the lottery? That was the first time that happened in a long time.
Well, no.
Before a black American, because the first two guys were
French.
Yeah, black Euros.
Yeah.
And then the first American drafted was Reed Sheppard, number 3. You hear about Houston Rockets. By the way, I think Reed Sheppard will have a nice career. I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but with that shot, he's going to be in the league for at least a decade.
Yeah, I'm worried about his size because he's only 6'3". But no, you asked a fascinating question. That's a great trivia question. When is the last time a white American-born player was drafted before a black American? And I mean, for some reason, the first name that pops off to my head is John Stockton.
I think maybe Keith Van Horn, because Tim Duncan's from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah, but Keith Van Horn was like 8th. He wasn't the number 1 pick.
No, he was number 2.
Was he?
He was drafted behind Tim
Okay,
Duncan.
I'll look that up while you're talking. But no,
I think Duncan's still considered an American, but he didn't grow up in the mainland.
Yeah, I think the difference with Cooper is that typically, when white guys come to the NBA, they're normally one-dimensional, right? Is that fair to say? Shooters?
Yeah.
Typically shooters.
They're known for shooting and playing the right way.
Okay, so the IQ and shooting.
Yes.
All right, yeah.
Yes.
I think where the difference with Cooper Flagg is that the biggest thing that stands out to me is that he can create his own shot, which isn't very common.
And he's got supreme athleticism.
Yeah,
too.
and he's athletic. And he's the prototypical NBA player of the modern day, right?
6'10",
6'9", 6'10".
Who can shoot,
who can run, and dribble, and defend. Yeah. So
you should see his block shot reels sometimes. He's sending stuff to the stands and letting you know.
Yeah, no, I'm after watching him. Yeah, you're right. By the way, it was Keith Van Horn was first.
He was second.
He was second. Yeah, he was second. He was second in the '97 draft. Behind Tim Duncan. So actually, to answer your question, Keith Van Horn was the last white American player to be drafted before a black American, because Tim Duncan is an American.
He's from the Virgin Islands. They consider it a territory. So
so are we counting that or are we not?
We should count that.
We should count that.
By the way, people don't realize Keith Van Horn, before he got hurt,
he was legit.
That guy was legit at Utah, man. Man, he could jump.
Yeah, so let's get back to Cooper Flagg. So unless you've been living under a rock, you saw them scrimmage the USA team twice, back to back. And day 2, all I saw on my Twitter feed is how much he dominated. I saw a couple of highlights. What really stood out to me the most out of everything that I saw was him taking a casual walk-up, pull-up 3 over Anthony Davis. And we know Anthony Davis is legit 6'10". He's
6'11", I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was in the defensive team of the year, but I know he won a defensive player of the year. You're talking about one of the best defenders in the league, and for him to casually, and I'm talking about an outstretched Anthony Davis.
He's got like a 7'5" wingspan, right?
And he's 17. I just know if I was 17 shooting over
I'd be scared.
AD, I'd be throwing it up there, right?
Yeah.
So the calmness, the poise of this kid is phenomenal. And so I just saw a tweet from Sam Decker that was really interesting that he retweeted this morning was, people are gonna drop their shit when they see that he's averaging like 15, 5, and 5 at Duke, because people don't understand the landscape of college basketball, right? It's very rare that someone goes to Duke and average 30 points.
Or even, 20, because remember there was the joke, who can hold Michael under 20 was Dean Smith.
Yeah, so I'm not expecting...
that's dumb.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see his numbers just blow us out of the water like a Trae Young year at Oklahoma. But I think if you see 16, 5, and 5, you'll be looking at him and saying that's gonna translate. And then also, he's going against superior competition week in and week out. And so
he's gonna be playing the ACC. He's gonna be going against some dogs. I mean, well, listen, Cooper Flagg's #1 pick next year. That run sealed the deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless he gets injured, he is the #1 pick.
I agree with you. And my next question to you is, who's the first team that's going to tank for Cooper Flagg? Portland? Yeah. Okay. Well, we shall see. I mean, the way the rules are set up now in the NBA, kind of, it tries to get teams to not tank, because it's not like, I was going to say American football there for a minute. Football, because I'm in the States now, the worst team gets the first draft pick, but that's not the case in the NBA. There's a lottery set up, and you get ping pong balls. And obviously you have better odds if you're the worst team, but it doesn't guarantee you anything. Just ask the Detroit Pistons. So,
Cooper Flagg, that'd be interesting if he was going to Detroit. I actually think he'd fit in there perfect with that attitude of his.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to see him bring back Detroit City.
They just need talent. They just need talent. So I think it'll be an interesting watch to see where he goes next year. And that's the draft we're looking ahead to, because I think this draft, it didn't really resonate with anyone because there's no big namers out there.
Do you even know who Risha Shea is? I have no idea who he is.
Well, I do, because I followed the Europe Cup this year. That's the competition he played in. But in the Europe Cup is a strong competition, but it's not the Euro League. And so for him to go #1 coming from a second-tier European competition is it sums up what the NBA is all about. And it's all about potential. Yeah. Right? It's not about who can actually play now. It's about, we think in about 3 or 4 years you will be the guy. And so that's why it makes the Lakers fascinating with their pick, because they got a guy at 22 years old that's ready to go.
Dalton Connect. Yeah, I think, that guy I think he's going to, I don't know if he'll be a superstar, but he should be able to start from day one. 6'10" with that shot. He's fairly mobile and agile.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me is the first time you get that scoff from LeBron James, and then it's something about the bright lights of it's not the Staples Center, by the way. It's crypto. It just, players are unable to showcase the best version of themselves in that arena. What is it about that place? Have you been in there before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen the Lakers and the Clippers there.
Front row seats, or where were you in a suite, or where were you sat at?
The Lakers, I sat nosebleed. The Clippers, for my birthday, I did sit courtside.
Oh, okay, because the Clippers Clippers tickets are cheaper, right?
Yeah. After game, I met your buddy Nick Nurse. I actually met him.
Oh, right, you did.
Shout out to Nick.
That is
correct. Very, very cool dude.
Yeah.
Man, well, in LA, the Lakers are an institution. They've won 16 titles?
I believe so. I just know it's one less than the Celtics.
Yeah,
the Celtics just leapfrogged them.
They've won 16 championships, and everybody is at a Lakers game. I mean, I remember I was sitting nosebleed. I saw so many celebrities. You see, I mean, I love our ladies here in Houston. We have some beautiful women in Houston, don't get me wrong, and I'm moving here in October. But when you go to a Laker game, you've seen the best. It's like a fashion runway show, right?
Is it the BBL Drizzy? What percentages of them have BBLs?
I'm not gonna answer that. I'm gonna get in trouble, man. I know the answer. I'm gonna keep quiet.
90% or lower. But are you taking the over or under on 90%?
I have an office in Beverly Hills. Don't make me not be able to go back, man.
I mean, plastic surgery in LA is like, talking about, barbecue in Texas. It's just a normal conversation.
Yeah, it's actually fairly inexpensive over there too. Seriously.
Yeah, but Cooper Flagg, we will be keeping our eyes glued on you to see what you do.
Thanks, Cooper. Make me look good. I tried to tell Drew that you were the guy. I tried to tell him.
and I just wanted to see you on a bigger stage. And you know what, Cooper? You've proved to me against Hall of Famers that you got it. So stay healthy, young man, and we cannot wait to see you on the NBA.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you tour center in about 12 months, baby.
I'm gonna have to fly over for that one. But thank you guys again for tuning in to Sports Gumbo with myself, Drew Laska, and Eric Pierre, where it just felt a little bit different today, being in the same room. I can kind of grab your energy feed off your energy because we didn't have to wait for the internet to buffer. So
I know, right?
We're going to have to do this more often, my man.
I know. You're actually here in the flesh, man. It's almost like in school again or the summers. At Faith West. Shout out Faith West Academy, man.
Definitely. Well,
by the way, tell your boy Adam Hall said what's up, man. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Well, what I'll do is when we get off of here, I'll tap into him and see the next time he's in the city, and we will bring him here.
We need to bring him here.
Sacred Stone Studios here in 3rd Ward of Houston, Texas, and we'll have to make it happen.
And tell him not to elbow me in the chin like he did last time I played against him. Man, I didn't appreciate that.
You know what? In the paint, you got to put your big boy pants on.
I know,
I'm
man.
sorry to say,
knocked me out.
I know we're in 2024, but you know what I mean. You gotta, you gotta.
He was fearless. Man, he should have been a lottery pick, man.
Yeah.
Gosh.
In this day and age, he sure will. But guys, thank you again for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week at the same time. Peace out.